Your cat is trying to tell you something. Don't ignore this. Have you ever looked at your cat and felt like they were trying to say something? Not with words, not in a loud or obvious way, but in the quiet way cats do everything. A stare from across the room, a slow blink, a sudden meow at night, a tail flick when you reach out to touch them. The way they follow you one moment now and disappear the next. Most people think cats are hard to read. They call them mysterious, cold, independent, even emotionally distant. But what if that's not true at all? What if your cat is actually communicating with you all the time? And the real problem is that most humans were simply never taught how to listen. Because cats are not silent. They are constantly sending signals, tiny emotional cues, subtle physical messages, small behaviors loaded with meaning. And when those signals are understood, something incredible happens. Your relationship with your cat changes. You stop seeing random behavior and start seeing emotion, need, trust, fear, love, and sometimes pain. Because one of the saddest truths about living with a cat is this: many cats spend their whole lives trying to communicate with humans who misread them. Humans who think a flicking tail means happiness. Humans who interpret distance as rejection. Humans who pet when the cat is asking for space and ignore the cat when it is quietly asking for connection. So today, we're going to talk about what your cat may be trying to tell you every single day. Some of these signs are beautiful, some are heartbreaking, and one of them is so commonly misunderstood. It may completely change the way you interact with your cat from now on, because your cat is not just living in your home. They are living inside the emotional environment you create for them, and whether that environment feels safe or stressful depends a lot on whether their voice is being heard. Let's start with one of the quietest and most powerful messages a cat can give: a slow blink. Your cat looks at you. Their face softens, their eyes slowly close, then open again. To many people, that moment seems small, easy to miss, maybe even meaningless. But in the emotional language of cats, that gesture can mean something profound. Trust. Think about it. In the animal world, closing your eyes around someone is an act of vulnerability. It means, I do not see you as a threat. It means, I feel safe enough to let my guard down around you. So when your cat slow blinks at you, they may be saying something more intimate than most people realize. I feel safe with you. And maybe the most beautiful part is this: you can answer. If you blink slowly back at your cat, many cats respond. It becomes a tiny conversation, a silent exchange, a moment of emotional understanding between two completely different species. But cats don't only speak with their eyes. Sometimes they speak with their bodies. They rub against your legs. They press their face into your hand. They bump their forehead gently against you. A lot of people think this just means affection. And yes, sometimes it does, but it's deeper than that. Cats have scent glands around their face and head, so when they rub against you, they are not only showing closeness, they are leaving their scent on you. In cat language, scent is powerful. Scent means familiarity, belonging, safety, connection. So when your cat head bumps you or rubs their face against you, they may be saying, you are part of my world. You are one of mine. You belong in my safe space. That matters more than many people understand. Because cats are selective creatures. They do not give emotional access carelessly. They do not make everyone part of their inner world. So when your cat marks you with affection, that is not random. It is trust made visible. But trust in cats does not always look like closeness in the way humans expect. And this is where a lot of misunderstandings begin. Because sometimes your cat chooses to sit near you, but not on you, a few feet away on the couch, at the end of the bed, across the room, but still facing your direction. And many owners look at that and think, my cat doesn't really want me. But that is often not true at all. Cats do not always express love through constant contact. Many express it through shared space, simply choosing to be near you. Without pressure, without touch, without demand, can be one of the clearest signs that your cat feels emotionally connected to you. They are saying, I want to be where you are. I feel calmer when you're close. I trust your presence. And if you only define love as cuddling, you may completely miss that message. This happens all the time with cats. They offer connection in subtle ways. Humans fail to recognize it, and then call the cat distant. But sometimes the message your cat is sending is not about love. Sometimes it's about discomfort. And one of the most misunderstood signs of discomfort in cats is the tail. A lot of people see a moving tail and assume the cat is happy, the same way a dog might be. But cats are different. A cat's tail is often a direct line into their emotional state. A tail held upright can signal confidence, friendliness, and openness. A soft curve may show comfort, but a fast flicking tail, a sharp swish, a thumping tail, that often means irritation, overstimulation, tension, a rising emotional storm. And this is exactly where humans get it wrong. They pet the cat longer. They keep pushing affection. They ignore the flicking tail, the skin twitch, the turned ears, the shifting body. Then the cat swats or bites, and suddenly the cat gets blamed. Aggressive, mean, moody. But maybe the cat wasn't trying to hurt you. Maybe they were trying to warn you. Maybe they already said, "This is too much. I need space. Please stop." Just not in a human language. And if those warnings are ignored often enough, something sad begins to happen. The cat learns that subtle communication does not work, so they stop whispering and start shouting. That's why understanding early signals matters so much, because when your cat escalates, it usually didn't begin there. It began with something small, a tiny request for space, a polite signal that no one noticed. But not all confusing cat behavior is about boundaries. Some of it is about attachment. For example, why does your cat follow you everywhere? To the kitchen, to the bedroom, to the bathroom, especially the bathroom. People joke about this all the time, but beneath the humor is something important. Your cat may be more attached to you than you think. Cats often form strong social bonds, but because they express attachment differently than dogs, people underestimate it. Your cat may follow you not because they need anything obvious, but because your movement matters to them. You are part of their emotional map. They want to know where you are, what you're doing, whether connection is available, whether the environment feels normal. In some cases, following can mean curiosity. In some cases, routine. In some cases, a desire for attention. But very often, it means this: you matter to me. And maybe that doesn't sound dramatic, but for a creature so often called indifferent, that truth is powerful. Still, attachment in cats comes with another side, because when a bonded cat feels ignored, confused, or emotionally disconnected, they often don't express it in the ways humans expect. They don't sit you down and explain their feelings. They express them through behavior. A sudden increase in meowing, knocking things over, scratching furniture more than usual, becoming clingy, or becoming unusually withdrawn. And this is where many owners make a painful mistake. They punish the signal instead of understanding the need underneath it. Your cat meows loudly at night and you think they're being annoying. Your cat knocks an object off the table and you think they're being difficult. Your cat scratches the couch and you think they're acting out. But sometimes those behaviors are not rebellion. They are communication. The meowing might be loneliness. The destruction might be boredom. The scratching might be stress, instinct, or an unmet physical need. The clinginess might be anxiety. The distance might be emotional shutdown. And when those signals are repeatedly punished instead of understood, the relationship starts to fracture, not because the cat stops caring, but because they stop feeling understood. That fracture can become even deeper when a cat starts hiding. Many people think, oh, cats like to hide, that's normal. And sometimes it is. Cats do enjoy enclosed spaces. They like security. They like vantage points and places they can retreat. But a cat who suddenly hides more than usual, a cat who disappears for long stretches, a cat who avoids contact in ways that feel different from their normal personality, may be trying to tell you something serious. Stress, fear, illness, pain, emotional overload. Cats are incredibly skilled at masking discomfort. In the wild, obvious weakness can be dangerous. So even in your home, even in safety, many cats still hide suffering quietly. That's what makes them so easy to misunderstand. A dog in pain may show it openly. A cat often becomes smaller, quieter, less visible. And this is why paying attention matters, because your cat may not scream for help. They may whisper it, through absence, through stillness, through hiding. And if you miss those whispers, the silence can become costly. But maybe one of the most emotional messages a cat sends is the one people overlook because it feels too ordinary. The gift, a toy dropped at your feet, a sock carried into your room, something strange left near your bed, and for outdoor cats, sometimes something much more unsettling. Humans react with confusion, sometimes disgust, sometimes laughter, but in the cat's emotional world, this behavior may mean something meaningful. Sharing, offering, bringing part of their world to yours. No, your cat is not writing you a sentimental letter, but they may be expressing instinct, bonding, and social behavior in the only way they know how. In a strange way, it can be an offering. A cat saying, "This is for you. I brought this to our shared space. You are included." And once again, we see the same pattern. What looks random to a human often holds meaning to a cat. Then there is the moment many cat owners secretly treasure most. Your cat chooses your lap, not because you picked them up, not because you forced affection, but because they walked over on their own, circled once, and settled onto you. That moment is bigger than it seems. Cats are cautious with vulnerability. They do not relax deeply in places they do not trust. They do not close their eyes, expose their belly, or enter sleep near something that feels dangerous. So when your cat rests on you, or beside you, or curls into your body when the world is quiet, they may be saying one of the deepest things a cat can say: "I feel safe here." And safety is everything to a cat. More than entertainment, more than toys, more than treats. A cat can only fully show affection where it feels safe. A cat can only be emotionally open where it feels understood. A cat can only relax where its signals are respected. That is why listening to your cat matters so much. Because every day your cat is giving you clues through their tail, their eyes, their meows, their distance, their closeness, their habits, their changes. And the real question is not whether your cat is communicating. They are. The real question is whether we are paying attention. Because the truth is, most cats are not hard to love. They are hard to misread correctly. They don't need you to treat them like dogs. They don't need constant handling. They don't need loud affection. They need something much rarer: observation, patience, respect, consistency. They need a human who understands that love is not always loud. Sometimes love is giving space when space is needed. Sometimes love is noticing a flicking tail and pulling your hand back. Sometimes love is recognizing that sitting nearby is its own kind of closeness. Sometimes love is realizing that behavior is not a problem to erase, but a message to decode. So tonight, when your cat looks at you from across the room, don't dismiss it. When they blink slowly, blink back. When they sit near you, understand what a privilege that is. When they walk away, don't always call it rejection. When they meow, hide, scratch, follow, rub, flick their tail, or curl into your lap, remember that none of it is meaningless. Your cat is trying to tell you something. Maybe they're saying, "I trust you." Maybe they're saying, "I need space." Maybe they're saying, "I want your attention." Maybe they're saying, "I don't feel right." Maybe they're saying, "You are my safe place." And maybe the most beautiful thing of all is that once you truly learn to listen, you realize your cat was never distant. They were speaking all along, just in a language so quiet, only love was patient enough to hear it. If you have a cat sleeping somewhere near you right now, go look at them for a second. Because while the world sees just a small, quiet animal, there is an entire emotional universe sitting inside that little body. And if that cat has chosen you, if they trust you enough to live their life beside yours, then you have been given something incredibly special. Not just their company, not just their habits, not just their routine, their trust. And trust, especially from a cat, is never small. So don't ignore the signals. Don't wait until the behavior becomes bigger. Don't assume silence means nothing is being said. Your cat is trying to tell you something. The question is, are you finally ready to hear it?